Well, good afternoon, Unstoppable Women. This is Monday, September 14th, and I am going to give you a few little updates. If you are watching the recording, make sure you kind of hang on and watch the recording to the end, because after the updates, we're going to share some maybe tips of different ways that we are going to be marketing the book and different ways that we can really leverage this opportunity, and you'll have a chance to get to meet the other amazing women. So this call is really going to be your call. Everybody that joins the call, we're going to be focusing on what you want, but before then, I'm going to give you a few updates. So we had a little bit of a delay getting everybody's content in. A couple situations that happened with a couple of the authors, but I'm happy to say that everything is in, everything is almost edited, but then everything is to the layout designer. We had a snag with our layout designer because the girl that we've used for all 8 books has basically left the, we have a service, we use Upwork for a lot of our contractors, and she's not there anymore. So we didn't plan on that. And so we were messaging her on Facebook and, oh my gosh, please help us. And she never got back to us. But we found a new designer and we're able to share the files, the old files, with that person. And so that is hopefully going to give us like a few days of a delay, but not much else. And the great thing about the layout or the whole design aspect is I know how to use that program, and so does Jessica, but we get somebody to actually set it up with the style sheets and all of the basics, because that is the more complicated piece. And then we can go back and make a few tweaks. So what is going to be happening from this point forward, just so you all know, as soon as we get that layout complete, what we will do is we will review it just to make sure that from our aspect, we don't see anything crazy. Then we will be sending that final file as a PDF to all of you. And we're sending it as a PDF because it can't be changed. And what we want you to do is review your story, your bio, your contact information, basically anything that has to do with you. We're counting on you to give it one final look. Now, we can't do major changes. We can't swap out your content. If you decided something needs to really be different, we can make minor adjustments, but we cannot do anything that's going to change the page count. Because even if you send us something new and it's got 5 words less, depending on your layout, it could change everything. It could make everything else be repaginated, and then we have to send everything to editing again, because we still will send the whole book to editing just to make sure that there are no missing paragraphs, just major issues. We have the whole project looked at so many times, because even every time we have it looked at, we still miss something. So the more eyeballs we have on it, the more chances we have of having it be perfect. So then once the book is completely done, then we will send it to the printer to get it printed. Now, the printing process, as I mentioned before, takes anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. We're still using the same printer, so that is fine. We know what to do to expedite that process. But during that final approval phase, what we will do is we will go to all of you, the authors, and get an estimate of how many books you think you may want. So then that way we can get like a rough estimate of the total, and then when we go to the printer, we have more buying power. We could say, well, all right, we're going to be ordering 4,000 books or 2,000 books. We don't know we can't get a final price until we give them a quantity. Now, we do have, if you saw in the group chat, that we have somebody that may want to order 150,000 books. And I don't know if that's going to come to fruition or not. I haven't had a chance to talk to Vicki and see what she has planning, but if that is the case, it will really bring the pricing down. But I hate to even mention that because, again, I don't know what Vicki's plan is, and having 150,000 books is, to me, like mind-blowing. The most we've ever done is 6,000. So I love that she's thinking big, but I don't want you guys to put your eggs in that basket, because who knows how that's all going to unfold. But I am going to get a quote from him so we can have a ballpark of what that looks like. Other than that, what we should be doing now is, because we've created a lot of the images for all of you, what we should be doing now is creating energy around our books and creating opportunities for pre-sales. Now, I don't know if you saw the link that I shared with Amy, but she's already been getting book orders. And so she's really excited about that because she's looking to bring in money to basically order her whole supply of books. So I think that's really cool. And what we'll talk about later in the call are ideas of how you can create those opportunities. In the author resource page, I've created a couple trainings and links and different resources to help you do that. So if you have not had a chance to look at any of those kind of resources, make sure you do. But beyond that, we will talk about other options after we get done on the call today. So we'll do that here very shortly. But before we jump into that, I wanted to see if anybody else has any other questions, things that I may have not shared about the process. I want to make sure everybody's clear. Sometimes we, like Jessica and I, we've done this so many times. This is like a well-oiled machine. We've got this system and we've got our, our project management tool to make sure we do all of our pieces. But then in that process, we sometimes forget that you guys don't know what's going on. And so we try to do the best we can to communicate with you every step of the way without going overboard. But there, I'm sure, are things that you may feel that you're kind of lost about. So this is a time for you to ask those questions and don't feel like anything is a question that isn't worth asking. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off of speaker view, go to gallery view, and open it up to you all to see if you have any specific questions that you want me to address. Then we'll jump into marketing ideas. So are there any questions so far about the process? No? Yay! Okay, so then I'm assuming, I do want to go around and do introductions, but I'm assuming that everybody wants to maybe dive into specific strategies. So what we'll do is if you have a specific strategy you want to talk about, put that into the chat box. And then that way we have a chance to go through each one of those. I'll give you time while we're doing introductions to put that in there. And that way we're doing it in some kind of order. And if anybody has to leave early, please let me know too, because we'll make sure we address your questions first. Good? Okay, so we'll do introductions. We'll start with Amber and go to Elle and then Danica.
Okay, sorry. My name is Amber Champagne-Matos. I'm the owner of Brows on Mane and Prohibition Skin. I am a licensed esthetician and permanent cosmetics artist, and I am creating my own skincare line that is in production right now. I specialize in something called the midlife skin crisis, which is where adult acne and anti-aging meet and butt heads and create storms and cause a lot of problems for people. And I specialize in helping people to overcome those challenges. I actually became an esthetician because after I had my first son, I got incredibly bad cystic acne. I never had anything like that in my life, and no one had any answers for me, so I just decided to answer it on my own. And now I am helping people all over the country through virtual consultations and different avenues to better their skin and just kind of help them get over any kind of skincare challenges, issues, etc. that they have. But yeah, we have a lot going on as a company, and we are building and growing and doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm very excited for our launch when it eventually ends up happening. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on this year, obviously, with just manufacturing pieces and all of that stuff. So hoping that it's going to be in the beginning of next year, ready to go, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's anything else specifically that you want me to talk about, but.
Nope, that's good.
Okay, cool.
All right, so then Elle and then Danica, we'll go to Erica next.
Hi, ladies. I was missing the last couple of meetings, so I'm glad to be back on our author calls. So I'm Elle Forte. I am a portrait photographer. I photograph a lot of women. I I believe that all women are beautiful without exception. And we are so hard and critical of ourselves that I really have found that most women just don't feel comfortable being in front of the camera. So my story was concentrated on finding one's inner beauty. And a lot of my clients and my projects right now deal directly with that. One of the projects that I'm working on is called 50 over 50, where I photograph 50 women over the age of 50 and show them just how beautiful they are, connecting with their inner beauty. So I'm glad to see some new faces here today, and I'm very excited about our book.
Thanks, Al. Okay, Danica, and then we'll go to Erica and then Joyce.
Okay, so I'm Danica. I missed last week's call and maybe a couple of them. Anyway, so glad to be back. I'm really enjoying this whole journey of learning how it is to go from writing your story, get like really profoundly connected to my story and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm a family advocate, a mediator, and also my mission is to bring healing and restoration to families who are going through high conflict custody matters, and to actually shift the conversation from divorce that's litigative to mediated, mediator-centered divorce. So, with the possibility of a whole new future for that family to move forward. And with my nonprofit, I have a team, and we're creating a platform, a community platform ourselves, so that we can actually be a resource and be a support system for families going through high conflict custody situations. So, and I'm from Florida, Lakeland, Florida.
Great. Thanks, Danica. We'll do Erica, then Joyce, and then Karen. I'm sorry, Rebecca. You know what? You show up at the end because there's no camera on you, and I know you were the first one on here, so sorry that you bumped to the end.
Well, I am Erica, and I am in Pennsylvania. I'm originally from Mexico City. I came here in 1998. So my story is going to be completely new. I started with one suitcase of clothes. One suitcase of clothes. But anyway, I became, I followed my passion being a designer. And I empower and I'm trying to inspire women and young ladies through my motivational wall decor. And I'm bringing I'm trying to build up my brand, Girl Power 24/7, which is just a wall decor full of empowering quotes, as you can see in the background, affirmations, self-love, and confidence messages. So women and young girls can find their own unique voice so they can make their own impact into the world. So that's what I am right here, trying to bring my own brand and my story.
Okay, thanks, Erica. Let's go to Joyce and then Karen. Oh, you're muted, Joyce.
There we go. I'm Joyce Witrecki, and I am so excited. I have been getting so many positive comments on the post. I'm just so grateful for Christy and Jessica for putting together that beautiful, beautiful advertising. And people that I haven't spoken to in many years are like, you've been such an inspiration. I'm so looking forward to getting the book. So I'm really, really thrilled. And the purpose of the book is to share just inspiration to women. But my programs are about leadership development. My tagline is high tech, high touch leadership. And I put together an I Can Lead program to help leaders cultivate their relationships, activate their employees, navigate through the whole leadership process, to help them to leverage strengths of others, to engage others, teach people how they can help them grow and demonstrate what a good job looks like, and really pivoting in this time right now, because I've done 25 years of in-person training and now can't do that because of COVID. So I'm getting so many requests to do webinars online and to do the virtual training, and I am so excited. So this is the first launch of my book, and then I am in the middle of writing my second book. So it's really exciting to be on this journey of being an author. So
Yay. Yes, Joyce, too, if you want to have a masterclass for our community, let me know and we can get that going.
awesome.
That would be great. We'd love to have you be one of our featured experts.
Thanks.
Okay, Joyce and then Rebecca. No, I'm sorry, Karen and then Rebecca. We just had Joyce. Everybody's moving around on me.
Hey. Hello, everyone. I'm Karen Murray. I've met some of you on a couple of the calls where I've been missing in action a little bit since I've been busily trying to figure out, my next chapter as I leave a 24-year position. So I am a mom to 3. At the time that I wrote my story and bio, I had completed 179 marathons, but since then, which is about not even a month ago, I'm up to 185. I just finished 2 marathons in Minnesota this past weekend. I've run a marathon in every state, and I've checked off round 3 for Minnesota because eventually I will have finished 3 rounds of doing a marathon in every state, which has given me a mindset that you can do anything that you set your mind to do. And so I really hope that I can help other people cross their finish lines as well. And I have coached many people to meet their running and health goals, but now I'm going to be working with families to protect what matters most. And that's through mortgage protection, retirement protection, and leading a debt-free life. I'm also recruiting for my agency as well. So if you're looking for a career change where people come first, you see personal growth, integrity is honored, that there is open communication, and you enjoy being of service and doing good in the world, and want to have fun and be productive, whether it's part-time or full-time, please contact me so I can show you how you can build your own business with unlimited opportunities and growth potential. And I am looking very forward. I love the title of Unstoppable because I really feel like I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be signing off on everything, be unstoppable. And for me, it will be unstoppable with your marathon financial plan. So I look forward to hearing more about everyone else's stories too, and being inspired by all of you awesome ladies.
Thanks, Karen. Yeah, I can't imagine. I haven't even been to every state, let alone done a marathon in every state. That's crazy. Or let alone 3. Insane. I love you. All right, we'll do Rebecca next, and then we will transition to Regina and then Amy.
Hi, everyone. So I absolutely agree with Elle that all women are beautiful, but I have just come in from the barn and I am not very pretty, which is why I do not have my camera on currently.
Oh.
It is still 100 and some degrees here in Arizona, so sweaty mess doesn't even start to describe what is happening over here. But I also have not been on the calls the last couple of weeks. I've taken on a couple of new contracts. I am working as a child welfare consultant and a foster care advocate. So had some transition in the last couple of weeks that have proved to be busy. So yeah, coming in from the barn, I also work with equine therapy programs and currently working with several individuals that have some fantastic ideas and programs to get a equine therapy program specific to foster care kids up and running here in Arizona. The woman I'm working with is primarily on the East Coast. So working to bring all of that amazingness out here, and very honored to be a part of the group. So thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. All right, Regina, you are in your car. Hopefully you're not driving and you can join us. And then we'll go to Amy and then Maren.
I am driving, but there's a stop sign, so it seems like it's going to be a minute. But my name is Regina Young, and actually I'm a former Ford model, and I am currently a podcaster and actually doing a business called Model Perfect Women. And the podcast is called Tea Time Midlife Edition, and it's an Apple, Spotify kind of podcast. And it's really about having women be empowered in midlife and to be seen and heard even in midlife, versus what they have it is that we're over the hill, we're out of options, and we should just pretty much so go away and wait till the rocking chair kicks in. So I don't have it that way. I have it that, you know, you can own your story, you can own your destiny, and let no one tell you how it should be done. You get to say. So that's it. Cheers.
Hey, thanks, Regina. Okay, Amy, are you with us? Amy or Marin? All right, well, maybe they are just listening. Oh, there's Amy. Amy, would you like to share? You're muted.
Mute. There we go.
There you go. Yep.
I'm having technical difficulties today. Don't mind me, it's Monday. So I'm Amy Fritz. I work for the National Weather Service as the National Cooperative Observer Program Manager. But really what's important to me in this book and my life right now is I am coming into my 20th year of being breast cancer free. And I'm really excited about it. My husband and I just decided we're gonna take a road trip to celebrate. So given COVID, we're not flying, we're not going anywhere. So next week I was supposed to be in Paris. Obviously that's not gonna work. So we've kind of revamped what we're doing. And that's what I love about life is you get to redefine what celebration looks like every step of the way. And this is what we've decided to make it look like. So we're gonna drive from Maryland to Idaho and back. In another big news, we just bought my first ever brand new car. So I'm really excited. We got a Toyota Corolla hybrid. And so we're gonna test out the gas mileage on it. So anyway, and as far as the book is concerned, we've been promoting sales. I think I'm up to 6 books that we've sold. If people wanna know how I did it and what it looks like, you're welcome to go onto our website that we have for my version of the book, if you will, scienceofcardio.com/Amy, and check out how we set up the page and how we're selling it. And I'm more than happy to share what that looks like for people. So
I actually put the link into the Facebook group last week, so you can always find it there as well.
And I'm all about sharing ideas and creativity. What works for me could work for you. You're welcome to try it. I take no ownership on how I made it work. You're welcome to copy and paste what I did. So
Great. Thanks, Amy. Okay, Marin.
There we go. Unmute. Hi.
Yep.
Excellent. So I have spent a majority of my life struggling between this go, do, be, you know, like take over the world personality, and this surrender. How do you hold the feminine side of yourself? And so that's what my chapter is all about, and what I have come to find for myself, and the solutions that I've discovered through spiritual practice, through dance, through a lot of different forms, things that I've done. And so that's my Dancing with Life, and I will be continuing to work with that. I've got my studio also that I'm running and in charge of, and so I've got both of those things going on, and that's kind of a snippet of me.
Great. Thanks, Marin. All right, I think we have everybody. Perfect. Okay, let me mention 2 things. It looks like Karen asked about the publishing timeline and when will there be a link to purchase. So Karen, did you mean when the books are going to be available on Amazon? So what we'll do is when the books are printed, what we do is at the same time, we will get the files onto Amazon. We will not make the book live yet, but what we will do is make sure everything is set, because once we have that initial order with our local printer, we want to be able to get additional orders in the future. And so what we do is we put them on Amazon and we put the files into their on-demand printer. So a year from now, 6 years from now, we'll always be able to get more books. We won't have to order like massive quantities with our local printer. But once that book is ready to go on Amazon, what we do is we kind of like keep it hidden until we do our Amazon campaign. Our goal is for people to buy books from all of you. So when we launch our Amazon campaign, we will make the books live. We do a special promotion on Kindle, and we'll tell you all about that when we get closer. But then from that point on, the books will be alive on Amazon for everybody to purchase. But our goal still is for people to buy the books from all of you. And so if you've noticed, maybe you didn't notice, but on our Overcoming Mediocrity site, we do have a big button that says buy the books. And what that link does is it takes our audience to a specific page that features all of the authors that have a shopping cart feature set up for their book. So when you get to the point where you have all of your live links ready to go, send those links to us and we will add you to our featured author page. So if anybody finds that page, they can go directly to you to buy the books. Now we just did that last book, so we don't have a lot of the older women or from, not older women, women from the older books on there. But you can see if you look at some of them, there are, and I shared this in previous calls, not everybody has a fancy shopping cart feature set up. They just have an email link, and that's totally fine. So look at that page when the time comes and make sure that you send me that information so we can add you to that page. So Karen, did that answer your question? No?
I'm a little confused, but you can keep going. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, what are you confused about? When people can buy the books from you?
Yeah.
So once the books are ordered, and what we do is we will then mail you your inventory of books for you to sell.
Okay. And when is that timeline now? When do we need to place the order?
That will be probably late October, early November.
Okay, so we
were trying to get everything done by the middle of October, but realistically, I don't think that that's going to happen. We tried and we may get close, but realistically, it'll be more towards the end of October, early November.
Okay, thank you.
One other thing that I didn't mention, that I mentioned previously, is we are in the middle of setting up our Overcoming Mediocrity podcast, which is super duper exciting. I had a call with somebody last week who's setting everything up for us and doing all of the editing, the intro, the extra, all of the crazy stuff that has to do with syndication and everything of setting that up. And so we will be reaching out to you if any of you would like to be a guest on the podcast. We want to make sure that we feature our authors. You guys are top priority for that. So it's another way for you to get more eyeballs on your business. So I'm super excited about when that's going to all be coming together, hopefully around the same time that your book is going to be launching. That's our goal. Extra publicity for all of us. All right, any other questions? And then what we can do is maybe dive into any kind of marketing strategies or ideas. If any of you have, let's go into any other questions first. Okay, so I know Amy did something with pre-sales. We talked about other things to do pre-sales. Has anybody else had any success pre-selling their book? Let's share what you've done. No, nobody's dived into pre-sales?
This is the week.
Yay.
Figure it out. So let's find out what the combination is.
So what about any other activities that anybody has done to create energy around their upcoming book? Does anybody have anything they want to share?
I've shared on social media. I've done some of that. I've gotten some great feedback. I have a web designer that's working on revamping my website, and planned on putting a landing page on that website. I don't exactly know what all it entails, but yeah, that's what I've done so far.
Perfect. Thanks, Danica, for sharing. Anything else that anybody wants to share about ideas that they are going to do or that they've already done that they found to be successful?
I've been interviewed on 2 podcasts. I've mentioned the book on both of those, and I don't yet have it on my website. So it's more of just a vague, unfortunately, it's just a vague. It wasn't like, go here and do this, but I appreciated what Amy said about how she listed hers. So I'll probably do that because I also listed it in, I've got a curriculum out there and it's now listed in the curriculum.
Good. Good. And even if you want to do pre-sale orders with just a link to a PDF that people can download, print, and give you the order manually, you know, that's still an option. So we have those forms on the author resource page. So you don't have to get super technical. You just got to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You gave us a link to some software last week where we could kind of create a fancy video or pictures. So that's what I use to do my Facebook post where it has the music that plays and the pink and all that. And it was really easy. I did it in under an hour, and that was with me stumbling around through it. So I highly recommend any other ladies to go ahead and use the link that you gave us last week or 2 weeks ago, the last call, and just try playing with it. Use the photo from your photo shoot if you want. They have lots of music options, whatever speaks to you. I had a lot of fun with it. And then after we did that, my husband was so excited. He felt that I should also do a 10-second commercial advertising where we're pre-selling the book. And so we did that as well. And he posted that on our blog site and I think through Instagram. And so we got a lot of hits on that as well. So 2 different venues there that we've been doing to promote it.
Absolutely. So that was Canva.
Canva, that's the name.
I shared Canva, and they do have free options. They also have a paid option that's not very expensive. And I just started using Canva a few months ago, and I love it. They do a lot of animations, a lot of videos, a lot of moving. Like we want to have more interest in the things we post, and there's a lot of options on there. And on the training last call, I did something for Regina with her picture and like, I don't know, a minute, you know, didn't take very much time. I've been using it for a while, so I'm a little more comfortable, but it is really, it's really a great tool to do lots of variety for your posts. I suggest you try out Canva. And then if you don't have a fancy landing page, I know we talked about a couple ideas. One of them that we shared in the past was to do a link tree landing page that you can have different links to different things, and maybe one of those links can be to your book. Another option, if you don't have a fancy landing page, is to create a Google form. And if you create a Google form for orders, it's a really simple way for you to just create fields to capture people's names, email address, maybe phone number, address, and then they can fill that out, and then that data will actually then be, you can create an automation that data will go to a Google spreadsheet. And then that way, when somebody does that, you can reach out to them and either get their credit card information or whatever you need to do to fulfill that order. You can actually probably even link a PayPal button to that. So Google is another way to create that automation, and it's free. So I love creating automations and making systems to make our life simple and simplify. So that's another idea. What else does anybody want to share?
So a lot of people have talked about Instagram and Facebook. What about posting things on LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn's a little bit more formal and these books are more personal. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think LinkedIn is a great platform. I personally don't use it a lot. Not that I shouldn't, I should. It's just I don't have a good strategy for LinkedIn. But if you're using LinkedIn, I would absolutely use that. If that's where your audience is, take the images that we're sharing and do those same posts in LinkedIn to create energy around your book and to drive book sales. I'm going to share my screen just for 1 minute because this is going to go to the author resource page. And then on the right-hand side, all of these images that we have created for the last book, we will be creating for this book. We'll be creating them with the front cover as well as the back cover. And these are all images that you'll be able to use in your social media posts. And what I suggest you do is just post all kinds of things, just to do, again, create energy. So those will be put together as soon as we have the final approvals of the back cover. We sent out the image of that back cover today. So as soon as we have everybody's replies to that, then we'll go ahead and get that finalized and get those final images together. And we will be sending out some copy that you can just copy and paste in different places. So you don't actually have to go out and create the wheel. You can take some of our copy and then just like customize it for you, add to it, remove some stuff, you know, just some like, it's just basically canned content that we've used for our last books. So that is another thing that we will be putting together this week for you guys to share.
Yay.
All right, so as far as a expert on LinkedIn, I personally do not have a LinkedIn expert. That's why I haven't worked with anybody. I have somebody, the lady that's doing our podcast, she is a member, she's a previous member, and she's out of the Milwaukee area. Her team does LinkedIn. I don't know, she's good with everything she does. I can't personally attest to the success her clients have because, again, I haven't worked with her, but I can share her information if anybody wants to reach out to her about a really good LinkedIn strategy.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, I will put her link in the Facebook group. So jump over to Facebook and connect with her. Her name is Lori Hybe, and she's really great. So yeah, I don't know, Karen. I mean, we've had a lot of people in the different networking events, and the person you're talking about, I don't know who she is because I don't think she was a member. She maybe was a guest, and I can't keep all of those people in my brain. So, all right. Any other ideas, questions, things that we need to do to make this a better project?
I think that everybody wants to know why you are an author. So we just have to talk about why we're doing it.
Completely. Share your story about your story. You know,
why?
Mm-hmm. And then every one of the teaching tips, like create posts. I mean, your content, what we need to do is we need a multi-purpose everything we do. So you could extract so much from your story that you can share out in social media, and all that's going to do is create attention around your story to get people and entice people to buy your book. So yeah, why? Share your story about your story, about why you wanted to share your story. Thanks, Erica. Anything else?
Yeah, this is Amy. I have a question.
Sure.
When will the t-shirts be available?
Well, I haven't ordered them yet. I do have everybody's sizes, and my plan was to ship them out when we ship out the books and when we ship out the bookmarks and stuff. So we don't have like multiple shipments. They'll all just go in one. The books will probably be drop shipped from the printer, but if anybody orders bookmarks, postcards, any of those other pieces, that all comes to me, and then we then ship them out individually. So October, November-ish, whenever we get to that point. Before the holidays for sure. So any other questions?
See, where or when can we order the bookmarks?
So we will, that's the next step after we get through production. So once everything gets ready to go, I mean, we'll have a good 3 to 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks waiting for the printing to be done. And then Jessie switches gears to all of those pieces. But we don't want to stop this to pivot to that. We want to get the book in the production, and then she'll work on that. Any other questions? These are good. These are all questions that we have in our head that we need to be able to share with you all. All right, well. All right, well, I don't know. It was good to see all of you. We will be back in 2 more weeks. We're going to continue with these basically every 2 weeks. The schedule is on the author resource page. Columbus Day is coming up in mid-October. So we may skip that day because does anybody want, I don't know if anybody, school, what happens with school these days? I don't know. But if there is something of importance, I will absolutely be on, but if there's nothing that we need to focus on, we may skip that, but I will update that on the author resource page when I know for sure and the time gets closer and we kind of know where we are with the timeline.
Awesome.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. I also want to let you know that I've already started interviewing women for the next book. I can't believe it. It's crazy. We have women that are still wanting to be a part of the project. And so I don't know what that is going to be called. What we typically do is once we get the first 5 or 6 women, we let them decide what the theme of that book is. And what's super exciting about that is it will be book number 10. And that will be out in the spring. So we don't even really talk about that until your book is done and we do everything we can to promote you. But in the meantime, we are bringing women together. And if you know anybody that you feel would be a good fit, let me know. I'd love to be able to get your people into the next book and you will get a $100 referral check. And I will tell you that will buy a lot of books. $100 can turn into $400 just like that, because you buy a book for $400 or $500 or $5 and now it turns into all kinds of money. So that would be a great idea. Okay, that's all I have. Good to see you all. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.